Hello, I'm your Kingdom Spiritual Transformational and Life Purpose Life Coach and Mentor, Latricia Booker. And we are here to be empowered, to heal, to get delivered, and to get free. We know who we are. We elevate our minds and our spirits and raise and expand our consciousness to ultimately walk in our true divine purpose and power. And that is the truth of who God has created us to be. Kingdom people, we are history makers, we are world changers, we are dream successors, we are wealth generators, we are manifestors, we are curse breakers, and we most definitely are transformers, more than meets the eye. Yeah, Kingdom people, we are. Kingdom people, thank you all so very much for viewing my videos. Thank you for all the likes, subscribe, shares, all your comments and feedback. Thank you for all your financial contributions to my channel and for all the seeds that you so generously sow into me and my ministry. Kingdom people, thank you for all of your bookings and your purchases. Kingdom people, thank you for everything that you do here. Kingdom people, thank you. And so, Kingdom people, I am on location and I'm here so we can break some chains. Let's get ready to activate. Let's go ahead and elevate, Kingdom people. Come on. So, Kingdom people, I didn't know. I did not know, Kingdom people. And so what did I not know? I didn't know that people would go crazy as I elevated. I did not know that people would go crazy as I grew, as I healed, as I wanted better for myself and pursued that. I didn't know, Kingdom people. And I remember years ago when I was on this spiritual journey and I had come across some information. It was all about love and light and how you see the good in everybody and acknowledge the God in everyone and all this, that, and the other. And that was all great. I also was coming into understanding of wealth and, you know, changing your mentality, you know, transforming your mind from a poverty-stricken mentality to a wealth mentality. And so, you know, as I began to shift and change and I was trying to walk in His love and light and be that light, which I was so attracted to, you know, I wanted that. I was all in, you know, things started going a little haywire. And I didn't get it at first because I thought being love and light was a good thing. I thought wanting better for yourself was a good thing. I thought growing and maturing and evolving and healing was a good thing. And it is. But for some people, it's not. And definitely not for the enemy. And it's people that are not growing, who are not healing, who are not doing the work, who are not wanting more, who are not changing their mind from a poverty-stricken mentality to a wealth mentality, who are not pursuing these things. And these are all things that God has for us for the most part. And here's the thing, Kingdom people, when it concerns, you know, seeing the best in everyone and just trying to walk in love and light, I learned that some people that are not of love and light don't like it. And then in fact, they attack you. So I was taken aback initially until I had to learn. And God had to show me and teach me that this comes with it. Because, you know, as I said, I didn't know. There was a lot of resistance. And so when I was learning these things, I was only learning at the time from the literature and the information that I was learning from. It didn't talk about the negative effects, the adversity that would come with it. It didn't tell me that. So I didn't know. I had to learn it on my own. And then eventually I began to come into that kind of information. And of course, God began to show me. And He started to show me in scripture as well. So I didn't know. I didn't know, but now I do, Kingdom people. I didn't know, but now I know. And as of recent, I've just been having these, well, there have been some experiences where, you know, people do these things where they act like they don't see me. And it's just been on my spirit that many of you have been experiencing the same thing. Now, it's nothing new to me because I've experienced it for some time in little bits and pieces, little doses. But lately it's been a lot, like crazy. And so what I've learned from that is when people do that, they're feeling insecure about you. And they are trying to make you feel insecure about yourself by making you think that they don't see you. Not that you're looking for them to see you. You're looking for them to notice you. You're trying to be seen, but they on purpose do things to try to make you feel slighted, like you're not seen, because that's how they want you to feel. And just to give a few examples, you know, it can be done like if you're communicating with someone, you're texting, you know, and they don't respond back to you. And many a times in my experiences, people will text me first, and when I respond back, they don't respond. Not always, but in these instances. And so, in my experience, I realized that they want me to feel a certain kind of way. They're trying to make me feel small. They're trying to make me feel unseen, or, you know, like they're not paying me no attention. But as I said, they started it. In most cases, they started it. But then they not respond because they want you to feel insecure. And the reason why kingdom people is because they do. And so again, I didn't know that just wanting to be my best self and be who God created me to be and grow and heal would be such a problem to people. But I found out it is really a problem to people who are not healing, who are not growing, who are not evolving, who are I'm trying to say this the right way, I'm going to say what it is, who are diabolical, who are very sinister, who are demonic, because the devil has full control of them. And you can find these people everywhere. They're everywhere. And so, and of course, it's not everybody. But when people recognize your light, those ones that I just mentioned, them ones who are diabolical, who are full of demons, who are demon possessed, they have an issue with your growth. They have an issue with your healing. They have an issue with you wanting better, because they don't know nothing about that. And sometimes they have more than you, but they don't have your spirit. They don't have the presence of God, and that's what God has been speaking to me. And another example of way that can happen is just like in the environment that you're in. People will on purpose like look away, act like they don't see you. But the thing is, it's so obvious that they're going through extremes to not see you, or make you think they don't see you, they're not noticing you, which means they are, and they just want you to think you're not, so that you can feel away. And what these people don't understand is when what they see is your security, how you're securing yourself, how you're confident. And so they're trying to strip you of that, and they don't understand that that's not what that does. That just makes you see that that's what they want to do. They just reveal who they are, reveal where they are, reveal that they're insecure, reveal that they are demon possessed in many of these cases. So another way it can happen, I mean, it could be through any kind of communication. It could be through email. It can be just any kind of a thing where a person is not responding where they should be. And it's so funny because I'm reminded of someone who shared with me some time ago that this is an elder of mine that shared with me that another elder of mine chastised them, tried to, and the person they was trying to chastise is older than them. The person doing the chastises is younger than the person they were trying to chastise, and they were trying to tell them that they should respond when someone is saying something to them, sending a text or whatever, where it's appropriate for them to respond back. And so when this person told me this, it tickled me, because that person who was doing the chastising had done the same thing to me a couple of times. And so, you know, where it was appropriate to respond back and acknowledge receipt of the message, they didn't do that, but they were chastising someone else for that. But that's a whole nother thing that just came to mind as I'm speaking about it. And so here's the thing, kingdom people, I didn't know it would be such a big issue, but what I've learned is people got issues, and not only do they have issues, they have deep insecurities, and they are, again, demon possessed. And this is their way of stripping you of your light, stripping you of your power, stripping you, I'm going to say, of control of your own life, even though ultimately God is in control of us. They just want to strip us of any good that's in us because they don't have any good in them, even if they pretend to have it. Because when you have good in you, and you are full of good and you are full of light, even if you make mistakes, even when you may have issues, you're good-hearted, which is why they go through extremes to try to strip you, because they lack that. And so the thing is this, kingdom people, God was showing me in the midst of some experiences I have been having where, like I said, it has been a lot where people been trying to ignore me or not responding to communications that we're having where it's appropriate to respond. And I just been noticing it. And my attitude personally, kingdom people, is this: keep that energy. We ain't got to talk no more. Because I personally recognize that as a game. And not just that. People, again, God spoke this to me today. He said people have insecurities. And sometimes who you are, your anointing, your light can be too much for them. And this is the thing about that. Sometimes, kingdom people, you might be too much for some people. But what's more appropriate is if you just fall back. Because sometimes you can be too much for people. And if they just respectfully fall back, acknowledging to themselves, not necessarily to you, because they don't necessarily have to acknowledge that to you. If they recognize it's too much for them and they just fall back, that's cool. But when they're doing it in a way where they're trying to make you feel away, so in other words, they have some kind of engagement with you only to remove themselves from the interaction, to make you feel away. God was showing me that's because who you are is too much. And as I already stated, they're trying to bring you down. They're trying to dim your light. They're trying to break down your confidence. And I'm just literally hearing, because these people don't have that kind of confidence. And you would be surprised at people that you think are confident and got it going on. And you might even, you know, love them and think you admire them and think they're great. And they don't feel so much so themselves. They would do that too. And it can be a little, you know, it could take you for, you know, be like, wait, what's going on? But as I said, in my experience, God would show me that this is what this is. And sometimes people get a deeper look at you. They might kind of like you. They kind of like you. They think you cool. But then you get to interacting with them and they get a deeper look and they see that your anointing is really deep and is really strong. And they see something in you that makes them feel a little insecure. And they might do that, you know, in your interaction or whatever. It could be something else, but I'm speaking specifically of this because this has been my experience. But God took me to Luke. I was reading Luke 8:35 through 37, and this is what it says. People rushed out to see what had happened. Let me say this first. This passage is speaking about when Jesus healed the man full of many demons, legion. This, now if you read Luke 8 before 35, you will see that. But I'm going to start at 35 to make the point that I'm making here. And it says, people rushed out to see what had happened. A crowd soon gathered around Jesus, and they saw the man who had been freed from demons. See, Jesus had freedom from the demons. He was sitting at Jesus' feet, fully clothed and perfectly sane, and they were all afraid. They were afraid because the man had been freed. Then those who had seen what happened told the others how the demon-possessed man had been healed. And all the people in the region of the Gerasenes begged Jesus to go away and leave them alone, for a great wave of fear swept over them. So Jesus returned to the boat and left, crossing back to the other side of the lake. Kingdom people, the people were afraid because Jesus had healed this man. And this was a man, again, if you read Luke 8, some verses before 35, it talks about how he lived in a cemetery, naked, He had been living in a cemetery for years, and he was naked. He would be naked. In other words, he didn't have on no clothes. And he was known to be demon possessed. And so when he was healed, when Jesus healed him, and he healed him by having the demons in him going to the pigs, the herd of pigs, and they drowned. They fell off the little whatever, and they drowned. The people were afraid. Their fear came over them to the point that they asked Jesus to leave. And what God showed me today is, when people are doing these things to you, they're afraid of what they see in you. They're afraid of what they see in you. And as I said before, if you fall back because of what you see is too much, respectfully so, that's okay. But these ones like to play games because they fear you so much that they want to inflict fear on you, or they want to slight you, or not. They want to pull you down from your confidence. And let me tell you something, because this is another thing that I've experienced. And I've heard someone else recently speak of experiencing this. And it really tripped me out right in the midst of why had been experiencing this. Some of the times these people will be encouraging you and be speaking highly of you and show you love and support, and will still turn around and slight you or do something like that to make you feel invisible. And so it can be surprising. But what God showed me is this. You know, when you have, well, I've been knowing this, but God pointed this out to me. When you have, I call them open doors, I call them cracks. Insecurities in any, I'm going to say jealousy, which I'm not necessarily speaking of jealousy right now, but of course, jealousy applies here as well. But not necessarily so. It can just be too much. But the thing is this, when you have insecurities, the devil can slip through those. The devil can, that's how he's able to enter. When you have unresolved stuff, when you're not healing, you have anything unresolved, and it don't always mean the people are evil or anything like that. It just means that the enemy can use them. And so we have to be very mindful of that when we're dealing with people, because the enemy can use anybody who's not healed, or who has, should I say, insecurity, any insecurity. And that's many people. Not to, you know, look down on them, but just to be aware how the enemy can slip in and use them like that. And sometimes, as I said, it'll surprise you where it's coming from. Not always, but sometimes. And so here's the thing, kingdom people. These people told Jesus to go away. They asked him to go away and leave them alone. And God said to me, that's how these people feel. They feel like they want you to go away. And part of the way that they're trying to make you go away and leave them alone is by stripping you of your light, stripping you of your anointing. In other words, trying to make you feel away, make you feel less than. Because if you're feeling less than, you can't show up in your light. You can't show up with confidence. But of course, these things don't work on us. When we know who we are, and we're already in it. And if they couldn't do it and strip us from it back then, they definitely can't do it now, when you're firm and grounded in who you are. And here's the thing. Many of you, not many, some of you may feel like, but I don't feel like I'm all in my light. I'm all in my purpose. I'm walking it out. They see it though. They see it. Many of you know you're grounded in that, firm in that. But some, you're still a work in progress. Of course, we all are. But some of you, God just kind of brought it to my attention. Some of you may feel like, but I'm not even all that. Yes, you are. And they see it. You don't even see. You don't even realize the greatness that they see in you. And they're trying to pull that down. They're trying to strip you of that. They're trying to make you feel weak. You're growing and maturing in it. And you feel like you're not even strong in it yet. But even in that, they want to strip away at it so that you won't fully grow into it. And it's all because it's too much for them. They have a thing where they just want you to go away. In other words, they want your light to go away. I'm finna say something crazy, but they want your healing to go away. They want your healing power to go away. Who would not want to receive healing? They did not want to receive Jesus' healing. They wanted, it scared them. They were very fearful of his power. And people are fearful of your power. And that's why they do you like that. That's why they try to make you feel away. That's why they do all kind of things. But as I was sharing before, try to slight you in communication. Like, I don't see you. Even though sometimes they initiated it. But that's an indication of how they feel. And again, they fear you. They fear your power. They fear your authority. And so, listen, they asked him to go away. They didn't, and God said this to me. People who can't receive from him can't be healed. And this is what was pointed out to me. Some of these people that be trying to make you feel away, these people that's jealous and hating on you, them ones that like to say, why did God choose you? God said this to me. He said, my presence is in you and they know it. And some people are mad that God's presence dwells in you. But God said, I can't dwell in a unclean temple. I can't dwell in a temple that's full of wickedness. God said this to me. He said, some of these people, them ones that be trying to make you feel away and slight you, to try to pull your confidence, to pull you, who you are, down, to try to dim or kill, knock out your light. God is there for them too, or once was. But they said to God, they said to Jesus, no, 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 leave us alone, go away. Them and their demons said, leave us alone, go away. Go away, just leave us alone. So God can't heal or dwell in a temple of someone with their demons saying, leave us alone. They don't want the healing. They told Jesus, they telling Jesus, And it's people that don't allow God in, don't allow Jesus in. And then they get mad at you. Came to people. I didn't know that me just walking in who God called me to be and doing the work, the inner work, would be such a problem. But now I know. I know now. And it's because they fear what's in you. Just like they did Jesus, because Jesus lives within you. And they want you to go away, which is why they're trying to strip at you. That's their way of trying to make you go away. But sometimes these people, certain people, not all, they not even conscious of what they're doing. They're not even meaning it in a harmful way. Some of them, not all, because some know exactly what they're doing. They're doing it on purpose. And those ones who are not meaning it, who are not conscious, they just have insecurities, and the enemy is able to use them because of those insecurities, which is why it's so important to deal with them so you can become secure. Wherever your securities are, you have to do the work so you can be secure. And you can really only do that with God. People like to try to go get this and obtain this and work out, and I'm not knocking none of those things, because we do need to, you know, work out and be healthy and all that. But sometimes people, the surface things are not what's going to make you know who you are. It's only God that can make you know who you are, because you have to know who you are in Him, who He is in you, and you have to actually have that connection with Him so it can be that. And so when people are like, no, 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 when God come along to try to help them work through whatever stuff they got, which is not easy, by the way, they can't get free. They can't get healing. But then here you come along and they're fearful of what they see in you. They're fearful, which also means they do have some form of fear of Jesus and His power and who He is. And that's what you represent to them. And they're like, no, 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 no. Go away, leave us alone, like they did Jesus. But again, their way of doing it is by trying to make you feel away to help bring your vibration down, bring you down from where you are, which of course doesn't work when you're already grounded in it. And probably didn't work back then. Either maybe, some of you maybe it did. It can happen, and that's okay. You know, like I've said before, I just be aware. I've always just been aware that that's what they were trying to do. And it just showed me who they were and where they were, should I say. And when it keeps going on repeatedly, you realize, or I have realized, this is just who they are. And now I understand why. But at first, Kingdom people, I didn't know. I didn't know. But here's the kicker. When people are not able to receive you, and I'm just reminded that a prophet is not honored in his own home, in his own hometown, it happens. But this is the thing, and this is what this situation was actually. Here's the thing. When they couldn't receive him, it says this. They wanted him to go away. And it says, and all the people in the region of the Gerasenes begged Jesus to go away and leave them alone. They like, leave us alone, Jesus. We don't want your healing over here. For a great way, and that's why many people can't get healed, because they don't want it. They don't want Jesus to heal them. That's deep. Listen, a great wave of fear swept over them. Here it is. So Jesus returned to the boat and left, crossing back to the other side of the lake. So when people can't receive you, you leave. You leave them alone and go somewhere else. Jesus went from town to town, healing, ministering, teaching. When people couldn't receive him, what he do? Left. He showed up. He did his job. He did what he was sent to do. Well, that part anyway. He was sent to go to the cross too for us, for our sins, so that we could be free. But while he was walking this earth, he was here to heal, to set free, to deliver, to minister, to teach. But some people didn't want it. And it's the same with you, Kingdom people. Some people don't want it. They may have started off wanting it sometimes, but then when they really get wind of what's really working in you, to the extent that they can understand, they know it's deep, and it scares them. And so they start to play these games, or unconsciously be used by the enemy, or both, to try to get you to go away, by trying to make you feel away. And what do? Like I said, you go. You leave them alone, because they don't want it. Kingdom people, I didn't know. Some of y'all didn't know either. But we learning. Listen. All you can do is show up and do what you're supposed to do. And when you're not received, I'm hearing rejection is direction. What did Jesus do? He got in that boat. He went somewhere else. He went somewhere else. He kept it moving. He did what he was supposed to do. They didn't want it. When kingdom people, when they don't want it, you just keep on going. Keep on going about your life, doing. Somebody wanted, because there was plenty of people that wanted his healing. It was plenty of people that came to him. See, this is what I've learned too, what God has taught me. People who want healing come to him. Everybody who was healed in the scriptures, doing while Jesus walked the earth, doing his ministry, should I say, too, they came to him for healing because they wanted it, they believed, and they received it. It's been several times throughout that time for Jesus that he said it was your faith that made you whole. He said, go in peace. You are sin free. But they wanted it. They believed. But for those that's fearful and they don't want it, they like, leave us alone. There's nothing you can do but go on. Kingdom people, I didn't know. But now I know. And so do you. If you like this video, and or if it resonates with you, please just go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Also, click on that red subscribe button and subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so. Thank you. Click on that bell right next to that red subscribe button so that you can get a notification every time I upload a new video, something like this from Kingdom People. Also, if you are interested in any of the services that I presently offer, if you would like to listen to my podcast show, the shows that are available there, I haven't been recording lately, but I'll get back to it as soon as I can. But there are some great episodes on there. Check that out. And if you are interested in purchasing any merch or product, you can find all the information right down below in the description box. Also, follow me on my social medias, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. All that information is right down below in the description box as well. And so, yeah, kingdom people, I love you all so very much. I really do appreciate you all being here with me, taking this time to spend it with me. And you all know I don't want to leave you, but I do have to go right now. But I will be back to hold my kingdom people down. Now, kingdom people, with that being said, much love, light, and peace. And many blessings to you all. Above all else, let the Holy Spirit lead you in all things at all times. Kingdom people, we are untouchable, we are unmovable, we are unbreakable, and we are unstoppable. That is my time. Jesus girl is out. Peace.